Let's cut across to our guest this evening. Joining me, Adil Singh Boparoy, National Congress spokesperson. Pradeep Bhandari, National Spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party. Joining me as well is Rajdeep Sardesai, Consulting Editor. He's joining us from Mumbai. Rajdeep, I'll quickly come to you first. What do you make of the Tharoor-Congress tensions, Rajdeep? The latest now, of course, you have the likes of Jairam, Ramesh coming out. You have the likes of Pawan, Khera endorsing what maybe a junior leader said earlier.
Yes, thanks very much, Preeti. Look, the tensions between Shashi Tharoor and the Congress may have surfaced again in the manner in which Dr. Tharoor is seen to have fully endorsed every government action during Operation Sindoor without the slightest tone of skepticism at a time when Rahul Gandhi is asking some hard questions of the government. So the dissonance is very clear between Dr. Tharoor batting for the Modi government and the Congress leadership or the rest of the Congress leadership beginning to ask lots of questions of the same Modi government. But let's be clear, Preeti, these tensions didn't start in April of 2025. Their origins are in October of 2022 when Shashi Tharoor took on Mallikarjun Kharge for the presidentship of the Congress. That's when really a section of the Congress, especially a few people close to Rahul Gandhi, like the party general secretary organization, K.C. Venugopal, thought that Shashi Tharoor was almost challenging in a way the Congress establishment. And there was a conscious attempt to somehow or the other sideline and marginalize Shashi Tharoor, both during the elections and after it. In fact, a section of the Congress felt that Dr. Tharoor was using his bid for presidency to actually eye the Kerala Chief Minister's post and become the Congress's face for the Kerala elections. Now, as a result, a lot of the factionalism came out. Suddenly, Dr. Tharoor found himself being isolated, wasn't being allowed to speak out in Parliament on major issues. He was removed as the head of the All India Professionals Congress. And while he was accommodated in the Congress Working Committee, the sense is Dr. Tharoor was getting increasingly restless.
Rajdeep, stay with me. I want to bring in our two other guests also in this conversation. I want to cut across to Adil Singh Boparoy. Adil Singh Boparoy, you know, this is a question that will put the Congress in a bit of a tight spot. But what was earlier just rumor mongering and, you know, tensions there, now out in the open, where does the Congress stand on Dr. Tharoor?
Well, Preeti, India's foreign policy is far more important than Mr. Tharoor. Let's be very clear on this. Point number one. Point number two, Mr. Tharoor is factually incorrect to say that the surgical strike for the first time took place in 2016. The Congress party is correcting him. Dr. Manmohan Singh, a statesman whose integrity, sagacity is not even doubted by his worst critics, is on record to say that there were surgical strikes prior between 2008 to 2014. We, of course, had 1965, we had 1971. So therefore, to say that surgical strike took place for the first time in Uri is incorrect. So he's misinformed there. But I must come to the larger issue because the BJP cannot use Mr. Tharoor as cover fire to deflect attention from their own failures. Number three, it has been more than 37 days. The perpetrators who pulled the trigger are still at large. I think the government needs to respond. Number four, not just the US president, but now we even have the US Commerce Secretary who's on record to say that Mr. Trump used trade and deals as a measure to ensure a ceasefire. So the country is well within its rights to ask the Prime Minister, what are the terms of this deal? Why is the Prime Minister shying away from answering? Either the Prime Minister must come on record and say, sorry, what President Trump is saying is factually incorrect. He doesn't do that. He is allowing hyphenation of India and Pakistan again. And it was with painstaking diplomacy over the past several years that we were able to ensure that both these countries were dehyphenated. Number five, and I say this with a certain degree of regret, India's foreign policy has been reduced to the strolling business of the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Okay. Your
Foreign
time's up. But
policy is a very
Adil,
serious.
correcting Dr. Tharoor, because, to start with, he is a Congress leader. I would reckon would be more diplomatic to pick up the phone and correct him rather than do it publicly on Twitter and on national media. But that's the call of the Congress and how they want this to play out. I want to bring in our BJP spokesperson, Mr. Pradeep Bhandari, into this conversation as well. Pradeep Bhandari, it's relevant because you have one leader who's clearly seeming to speak out of line, contradicting what the Congress line is, and it's very much within the Congress's right to correct him.
Well, Preeti, there's a very famous saying that patriotism is supporting your country all the time and also the government when it is needed. Clearly, the Rahul Gandhi's coterie has given a signal that anybody from the Congress party, if supports the country on Operation Sindoor, will be sidelined in the Congress party. Let me go step by step. First of all, it's ironical of the spokesperson of the Congress party to correct one of their Minister of External Affairs, MOS External Affairs in the UPA. Data and facts tell us that there is no surgical strike which is conducted before September 2016. This is what the army had responded in an RTI reply. This is which was quoted in May 8th, 2019 in a report in Business Standard and also in Times of India and other various platforms. So there is no documentary proof of surgical strike during the UPA era. Dr. Manmohan Singh categorically, proudly said that he was very, very happy. This is his video here, that he did not conduct a surgical strike after 26/11. So that is the truth here. The reality is that the entire country is united, bearing apart Rahul Gandhi's coterie, which is asking operational details. Now he came to ceasefire. I believe that not once, twice, but multiple times, whether it is the Ministry of External Affairs, whether it is the Minister of External Affairs, whether it is the DGMO, they have clearly said that there is no third country which is involved. This is exact. I will further reiterate and give you an example here where the MEA in its official press conference said that there is no third country which is involved. But the Congress party believes in China, believes in United States of America, or believes in third country because they have traditionally been pro-Pak. Now I will ask you a very simple question. Post 26/11, we gave a unanimous support to the Congress party, please go against Pakistan. They gave a clean chit to Pakistan. That is when we began questioning. Here we have gone deep inside Pakistan and removed their terror headquarters. The Operation Sindoor is ongoing and the 4 terrorists will also be killed. Why is the Congress party taking a pro-Pak line and going against their leader who has taken a pro-India line?
I want to bring in Rajdeep Sardesai, consulting editor, back into this conversation because, Rajdeep, we've debated this ad nauseum. It's not the first time, like you pointed out in your first intervention, where you said that it goes all the way back to the election of the president of the Congress, where Shashi Tharoor stood up against Mr. Kharge. And after that, you've seen a systematic sidelining of Dr. Tharoor by the Congress. The question I ask, you have Dr. Tharoor, who's also made it very clear, if the Congress doesn't want me, I have other options. Larger question, Rajdeep, is the Congress all set to lose another asset?
Well, Preeti, I don't think Shashi Tharoor is out to become another Jyotiraditya Scindia or Jitin Prasad or Milind Deora just yet, someone who leaves the Congress to join the BJP. You just have to look at Dr. Tharoor's writings over the last couple of decades. He's been staunchly against the BJP. So I don't think Dr. Tharoor wants to make a switch right away, certainly not even in a state like, particularly not in a state like Kerala, where the BJP is still party number 3. My sense is Dr. Tharoor ideally wants to bide his time, at least till next year's Kerala election, see how that goes. He's already made it clear to some of his friends and admirers that he's not very keen on recontesting a Lok Sabha election in 2029. So I don't see Shashi Tharoor walking out of the Congress, and I don't think the Congress wants to lose Shashi Tharoor yet, but they want to work out some kind of a relationship which at the moment is becoming more and more difficult because of the level of mistrust that is being built on both sides, Preeti.
I want to bring back the Congress spokesperson into this conversation because Adil Singh Boparoy, with what you pointed out earlier, yes, you've had Rahul Gandhi in 2019, I remember in an interview to our very magazine said that under Dr. Manmohan Singh's government, there were 3 surgical strikes which were carried out, but they didn't tell the world or publicize it in the manner with which the BJP government has. And this is, I'm quoting Rahul Gandhi. All of this, Adil Singh Bopurai, one would wonder, would be regular debriefing to all the members of the Congress who were part of the delegations that you see on our television screen. Because there's been Mr. Sharma as well as Dr. Tharoor. I would think all of this would have been debriefed to them. And, you know, Dr. Tharoor is no stranger to diplomacy. He's held the highest office where it comes down to the External Affairs Ministry.
Preeti, one thing is very critical, and I request you to kindly appreciate it and for your viewers to understand. India's stated position, forget the Congress for a moment. India's stated position till 2014 was very clear. This includes Mr. Vajpayee's regime. That the government of the day will not hide behind the valor of our armed forces, number one. And number two, we never used the army's valor, their contribution, for domestic political gain. I think this was the unwritten charter up till 2014. Unfortunately, that template has been turned on its head by the BJP, where they repeatedly use the army's valor for their political gain. Number two. Number three, please see the irony, because my friend used this word. Please see the irony. Before the government of India could announce, or the MEA could announce, that there has been a ceasefire or a pause of sorts in our skirmishes with Pakistan, you had the US president putting out a tweet. What are we supposed to understand? What are we supposed to understand? That even before 2 sovereign countries put this out through an official press statement, you have the US president putting out a tweet. What does that show? Number 4, not once, not twice, but at least a dozen times, he is on record to say that I used trade to broker peace. I used deal making to broker peace. Am I, as a citizen, not entitled to know what are the contents of this deal? Number 5, it is all very well for the BJP to skirt accountability. But today, the fact of the matter is that we are isolated. Not only are we isolated globally, we are even isolated.
But it's all the more interesting, Adil Singh Bopurai, that you didn't touch on the question at all that I asked you, but that's fine. That is the nature of politics. I'll bring in Pradeep Bhandari back into this conversation, because Pradeep Bhandari, on the contours of it all, the Congress is asking certain credible questions. And, you know, it's not a new political stand that the Congress has taken. Right from the word go, they have always maintained that it is the BJP or the NDA government that has politicized these surgical strikes, while many were attempted and executed successfully under the then UPA rule. They were not publicized. They were kept under wraps.
Well, Preeti, if there was even a single surgical strike that the UPA did, they would have some documentary proof. Why is the DGMO here denying it? This is not the Bharatiya Janata Party. It is the DGMO which has denied it. So the Congress party should come up with documentary proof. Irony, Adil has self-exposed himself. This is the Congress party's official tweet, you know, eulogizing Indira Gandhi on 1971, which according to me was a big failure because she returned all the prisoners of war, getting nothing in return. So what was the Congress party doing when it speaks about Indira Gandhi? I believe they were doing politics of the highest order. I again come to the moot point. We have gone deep inside Pakistan. We have hit military bases. We have hit terror camps. Operation Sindoor is ongoing. Asking question is the legitimate right of the opposition, but is asking for operational details the legitimate right of the opposition? I disagree. The European Union has come up with a statement backing us. The Russian ambassador today has backed us. Not a single country bearing apart China, Pakistan, Turkey are standing united behind Pakistan. None of the single country apart from China and Turkey has condemned Indian action. In fact, they have either welcomed it or they are silenced. This is what speaks about, in diplomacy terms, a victory. Now coming on to the issue of Donald Trump. In 2019 July, there was a joint press conference of Imran Khan and Donald Trump where they said that there was a call for a third-party mediation on Jammu and Kashmir. What happened exactly 15 days after that? The India under Prime Minister Narendra Modi abrogated Article 370. This is as independent foreign policy and domestic policy can get. Not once but multiple times our government has made us stand clear. But despite that, if the Congress party wants to believe a third country, I question the patriotism of the Congress party, because it's the same party which had secretly met the Chinese ambassador during Doklam, which had gone ahead and said that China had thrashed India in Galwan, where the reality was India thrashing China in Galwan. So the Congress is pro-Pak. This is why they're not able to see the truth.
One final question. I'll bring in Rajdeep first and I'll get in final interjections there. Rajdeep, once again, building on the conversation we've been having on Dr. Tharoor and the Congress, clearly there seems to be a divide within the Congress on Dr. Tharoor. Is there actually a divide? That's the big question. Because now you have the likes of Jairam, Ramesh, you have the likes of Pawan, Khera openly criticizing Dr. Tharoor. The proverbial high command, is it in the know, or once again, this would be an example of possibly the Gandhis being disjointed from what is the reality of their own party?
Well, I think it's not just the Gandhis who appear disjointed from reality. I think the Congress system at the moment is not able to create the space where you can have a constellation of leaders whom they can take to the public. This is a moment where the Congress really needs a shadow cabinet, where you could have Shashi Tharoor, for example, as a shadow cabinet minister for external affairs. But there's so much of insecurity, antagonisms, factionalism, mistrust, that it becomes then very difficult for a political party to realize what's happening on the ground. I also think, to be fair, Dr. Tharoor needs to also recognize that brand Tharoor cannot be bigger than brand Congress. And he too, in a way, needs to ensure that there is a reach out, a meaningful reach out to various factions within the party, both in Kerala and at the center. So I think unless they are able to find this working relationship, you could well suggest that matters are reaching a bit of a dead end between Dr. Tharoor and the Congress. I don't expect him to leave the party, but I don't expect the party to truly recognize some of the assets that Dr. Tharoor brings to the table.
Fair point. All right, Rajdeep, appreciate you joining us. I'm going to give both our other panelists 1 minute each to put their points forward. Adil Singh Boparoy, you've not taken any questions on Dr. Tharoor, so go ahead, make your point. 1 minute.
Preeti, I have two preliminary points, because the BJP keeps on shouting from the rooftops, trying to wear their pseudo-patriotism on their sleeve. Let me remind my friend from the Bharatiya Janata Party that the Congress party lost two of its senior leaders, two prime ministers, to terrorism and secessionist activities for the sake of the unity and integrity of this country. This is our contribution. This is the contribution of the Congress party which led this country to freedom. So please look within. Don't sound delusional when you start questioning the patriotism of the grand old party of India, number one. Number two, when the country was in the state of national mourning, the Prime Minister was busy addressing a political rally in Bihar. The Prime Minister, as soon as he came back from his foreign junket, and we were in the midst of a national mourning, the Prime Minister was delivering political speeches in a Bollywood style.
Fair point. Okay, you made your point. Sir, you've made your point. 1 minute, Mr. Bhandari.
Well, I further should question the patriotism of the Congress party, because despite losing two of their prime ministers, if they continue to toe Pakistani line and call 2611 as RSS ki sajish rather than calling it Pakistan's terrorism, releasing a book with Digvijay Singh absolving Pakistan of 2611, being quoted by Hafiz Saeed as the favorite party in India, I definitely need to question their patriotism. I definitely need to question the patriotism of the Congress party, because Jawaharlal Nehru gifted Jammu and POJK to Pakistan and Aksai Chin to China. Had it not been for Mr. Nehru's blunder, Kashmir would not have gone to United Nations. I definitely question the patriotism of the Congress party, because Indira Gandhi, 2 months after Operation Smiling Buddha, wanted to give the nuclear technology to Pakistan. I definitely will question the patriotism of the Congress party, because Rajiv Gandhi spoke about nuclear disarmament when China already had a nuclear weapon and Pakistan was enriching uranium. I definitely will speak about the patriotism of the Congress party, because Rahul is asking for operational details in Operation Sindoor, which only an enemy country can ask.
All right, I appreciate both of you for joining us. We leave it for our viewers to decide on where they stand. But where the Congress stands on Dr. Tharoor, well, that's been a conundrum which now is quite out in the open. Now, will action follow what is public criticism of Dr. Tharoor? We'll keep a keen eye on that.